video game exhibit, first banned on the RPI campus and then at a Troy Art Center, led to a protest.
An Iraqi refugee, imprisoned and tortured by Saddam Hussein, finally makes his way to the United States, learns English, gets a college degree, becomes an art professor, does art projects so important that he's the Chicagoan of the Year last year, and gets invited to Troy, New York, thinking it was a great honor. Rather than being welcomed, we decided to shut him up because what he had to say was so troubling to us that we couldn't hear it.
He should go back to his own country.
The free speech has got to go so far. It's a time of war. I'm all for freedom of speech. I'm not saying he shouldn't show it. I just disagree with the content of the video.
Art, whatever its medium, is the constitutionally protected expression of a point of view. Art about terrorism is not an act of terrorism.
I want to call attention in this game to how the Iraqis live in their life right now. In this game, you will be able to recruit me as a suicide bomber. Just give you a brief history of the game. In 2003, Jesse Petrola put a game out called Quest for Saddam. In this game, all Iraqi look alike. In fact, Saddam's face on every one of them. What the Islamic media group did, they changed the skin and replaced the Iraqi soldiers by American soldiers and replaced the image of Saddam by President Bush, George W. Bush. And all of a sudden, it became a tool for recruitment for Al-Qaeda to go and kill Saddam and label the Iraqis as terrorists and kill them. That's fine. But when the game shifted, it was not. I was more disturbed later when I got to know that Jesse, after putting the game out, went to establish the United Committee. And some of the most disturbing rhetoric you are going to see when you visit this set. The Jihadi chat, he's calling on banning any Muslims coming to the United States. Later on, they burned an effigy of Bin Laden in front of a mosque in California.
Which ones are the terrorists?
People were outraged by it because all of a sudden they saw themselves in a different context. They saw themselves the hunted, not the hunter.
While nearly 200 students, faculty, and others listened to Bilal speak at RPI Wednesday night, there are many on campus who see it less as art and more as offensive.
You anti-American?
I am proud to be an American.
Student blogs are buzzing, some reviews not so positive, and some alumni are raising questions of this artist on campus.
The night of Bush capturing the virtual Jihadi meant to engage people in a dialogue about what is happening right now in Iraq, which I consider it as the conflict zone and consider this place as the comfort zone. And in front of about 12 or 13 students, they pulled me out. They said, we have to talk to you right now. And I said, we are in the class. They said, it doesn't matter, come with us.
Dean and the provost of the school and the assistant to the president want to have a word
with me.
for a short time. They asked us to stop this.
If the FBI and the CIA know us and are not interested in me, how come an educational institution interested in interrogation and artists?
I find it to be a great thing. And considering that the president of RPI was at one point head of the NRC, it's definitely a great position for her and for the administration to take.
I have not met one student that actually seems excited about this artist coming to school or excited about his game.
It has created questions in the minds of many students about the Institute's commitment to academic freedom on campus. I was just wondering if there are any plans, specific or otherwise, to help restore that faith in the Institute's commitment to academic freedom.
Well, you should not have lost faith. And there are a lot of things out on the web. And people have made that argument to me about the game. Well, you know, child pornography is on the web, and we're not going to provide a platform for that either. We've made the decision. It's a judgment we've made. Everything can't be swept under the blanket of free speech all the time.
The game was created by an American citizen, which was hacked by Al-Qaeda, which was then hacked by Professor Bilal. And something I don't think a lot of people realize, and I know you didn't directly say that he's in any way a terrorist, but a lot of people kind of throw that out. And him being a terrorist for hacking an Al-Qaeda game, is the same logic as Al-Qaeda being U.S. citizens for hacking a U.S. game. It doesn't make sense.
We have never called Mr. Bilal a terrorist, nor would we, nor do we think he is. And we've been very careful in what we have to say about it.
Well, do you think it's responsible to compare it to child pornography without actually viewing it yourself?
Well, I'm willing to accept. I'm willing to accept input from those who are responsible and charged with, in fact, doing the research on these things.
Are you planning a public apology, at the very least, to the artist, the way that you treated him?
No, we're not apologizing on either side. We feel that the university has taken the appropriate steps on each side.
For you to express opinions in the absence of the sense of responsibility that I'm hearing here is simply not helpful, does not contribute to the community, does not show me that there is a sense of overall concern for the community as a whole, that there is an overemphasis on the personal and on the personal opinion, and insufficient emphasis on the community as a whole.
I'm sure that if, with all of the imagination here in the room, that you could come up with ideas that may not in fact be illegal. The instance of child pornography, it may not be illegal, and yet
I don't think, I think you should, self-control is always useful.
And Larry, you don't need to record it because we'll be happy to give you a copy of the video.
I would like him to record it. It's my recording, not mine.
Is the guard still up there?
He was up on 4.
Okay, were you able to get in?
Yeah, my key did work, and Jim's works now too.
We found a security officer inside. He said, let me see IDs. And we said, what is happening? Why our ID is not working? He said, we were ordered to lock the building down. And he said, because this guy is doing terrorist propaganda and they don't want him to be here. He told me, I'm not allowed here, right?
I didn't say that.
You didn't say that?
No. And I asked the guard after he let me in and ID'd me, and he said that he was there to prevent access to the building by the artist with the video exhibit downstairs.
They told us that the access was turned off because of the exhibit.
So here's what happened. I came in, my ID canceled.
Would you copy a room number of 660271237? That's 660271237.
Here's part of the initial statement. We pleased to have Wafaa Bilal among us to contribute to the intellectual and artistic life of the Institute. We look forward in his continued presence in the classroom and the studio as a visiting artist. This is completely contradictory to what I faced today, this morning.
Who hired these guys and why?
I'm not exactly sure. That's what we're going to find out right now.
Were they instructed to, just like, here's a picture of him? I don't know why.
Looking for the terrorist guy, and you apparently don't look like one. I don't know.
You gotta work on your outfit, man.
And let's have a town hall meeting style, not necessarily just focusing on the show and the game. Let's put this as an excuse to bring everybody, both sides, to talk about different issues.
That's a good idea.
It's a great idea.
It started with RPI suspending this exhibit, but it is going to take place today at the Sanctuary for Independent Media. The Rensselaer County Legislature Majority Leader there, Robert Mertz, says he's disgusted that they are going to host this exhibition.
There is a serious safety concern, not about just me, but also the sanctuary and the people here. And I wonder if that's a legit concern, if there is any steps we need to take here.
The neighborhood that we're in is the most heavily policed neighborhood in the capital region. I have called the Rensselaer County District Attorney and called him at home today and left him a message saying that we're concerned that one person who's simultaneously an employee of the city, county, and state is organizing a protest and is using very inflammatory language.
I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. Bilal?
Bilal?
No, A, I have not seen the game. B, I only know about you from what I've read in the paper and I've seen on TV. That can be nothing but terrorism. It's so far, in my view, from art. It's just, it's terrorism. I've been told that all Muslims are liars. And secondly, that all mosques should be closed. You're going down. You and your like are going down. I think we went out of our way not to kill Iraqis. I think they're probably doing more killing of each other at this point. But I think he's just a terrorist in sheep's clothing.
We tried to get rid of any kind of, plot, all that stuff you saw, we got rid of it. And, we're trying to deal with all that stuff. You might be moving.
Well, the doors haven't been...
I printed this out. This is a quote that we got from Mangione. We're working on it.
Cool.
Unless you think we're not taking it seriously, we're moving on it, as fast as we can.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get on that. That's going to be right on the top of our list. Well, thanks for coming out.
All right.
Thank you. If you see anything that's appreciate it. Let us know. Sooner the better.
Thank you very much. Good to see you. Bye. Thank you.
Good. Nice to see you. Everything's squared away. Come on over for the show tonight.
Yeah.
I have not heard him saying it's going to be a peaceful protest, and I would appreciate very much for him to say that on the air.
Everybody will be peaceful. Sounds like you have a little fear.
Oh my God, I'll post you to my blog, I'll post you to my blog. Oh my God, I'll post you to my blog, I'll post you to my blog.
2007, Wafaa created an exhibit called Domestic Tension. The art piece involved him living in a gallery in Chicago, and viewers of the piece on his website were able to shoot at Bilal with a remote-controlled paintball at any time, day or night. More recently, Wafaa created a video game exhibit called Virtual Jihadi, which was displayed at the Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in Troy, New York. That is, until the college Republicrats cried foul and the university pulled the exhibit. Virtual Jihadi was then moved down the street to the Righteous Sanctuary for Independent Media.
For anybody who would like to take part in the protest, we'll be meeting at 101st and 6th in Lansingburg at 5:30 tonight.
I was reading a bunch of blogs, and I just came to speak on behalf of against the video because I have never saw such disrespectful art or whatever.
You haven't even seen it.
And do you know anything about the exhibit inside?
Not too much, no.
Just what I've read about it.
Just about the assassination of the president. That was enough for me.
I'd like to thank the Sanctuary for really standing up and doing this when the institution that employs me has fallen down on the job. Because in the end, I think that we are entitled to use any characters we want in our fictions. Calling Tom Clancy a terrorist because he writes a novel in which a terrorist appears would seem to most people to be absurd. That's why I'm a professor at RPI, because I can tell the difference between fiction and reality. I don't know what school they went to learn, how to be administrators, but obviously it's a different one, and I'm afraid that it's probably the same one that the administrators of this country went to.
I personally was outraged when I heard about this alleged game. When I heard that the Bob Murch was going to have a demonstration, I thought I would join him.
I'm supporting my father. He works for the city of Troy, so, you know.
A friend of mine asked me to come here and support.
Well, you know, I used to work for the city of Troy. I seen some of my friends here today, and I seen what they were, what they were doing, so I supported them, okay?
In these difficult times, when we are at war with another nation, it is our duty to improvise strategies for engagement and dialogue. I'm hoping to break away from the wall of the gallery and open the dialogue for people outside there.
I don't support the war. Believe me, I don't support the war.
Too many people are dying. This war should not be going on.
These people, I don't know if they're mental deficients or what the story is, but, free speech has got to go so far. It's a time of war.
I knew some of the people from my own neighborhood who never came back from Iraq, and it was painful to me to watch American soldiers being cut down. And it's just very powerful that you've reversed that.
It's funny to see somebody react this way about your game, because you can play any game right now and switch sides, and you could be shooting Americans, or you could be shooting people from other country, and it doesn't matter.
I want to take it out of the realm of art theory for a minute. I just would observe that whether you meant to or not, you had one of the most effective anti-war protests that I've seen for quite some time, and people who are deeply involved in the anti-war movement know what I'm talking about, because it's been very difficult to get any media coverage of the issue of Iraq at this stage. The Democrats and Republicans are now more worried about subprime mortgages than Iraq.
No, one of the guys gave me this sign. That's why I'm holding this sign. I can't. I don't.
And ignorant is not excuse, right? If people wanted to know, they have to engage. If people need to change the direction of this country, they have to talk. I've seen how we surrender our power, little by little. We surrender our power as Iraqis to the dictator, to the point we could not speak to our brother or our sister. And I don't want to see this again. And I don't want to see in this beautiful country what happened in Iraq.
I have trouble pronouncing his name, Bilal. Mr. Bilal, is that how you pronounce his name?
So a place like the Sanctuary for Independent Media, would you see that this is a place that is cleaning up, bringing up the neighborhood, cleaning up the neighborhood, even though you're here protesting tonight for terrorism?
I don't really know if it's had any type of impact on the community. Oh, there's a lot that needs to be done in this neighborhood, and we've been, since Mayor Detunja became mayor, we've had an aggressive code enforcement campaign. Zero Tolerance is the name of the campaign.
I work for the city of Troy, code enforcement. I was told to call you and speak to you about the front double doors that all need to be replaced to widths of 32 inches. Not going to be able to assemble regarding front doors, double, 6th Ave. I was told to call you and speak to you about the front double doors that have not been replaced and the existing 30-inch door.
They were forced to close last week.
What is so dangerous about this art center in a little neighborhood in North Troy that deserves being crushed by the city?
Nobody's going to be able to have any kind of assembly down there.
We have never disputed that a 108-year-old building in one of the most neglected neighborhoods in the capital region needs work. We're working on it. We've been working on it. And we've been writing letters to the city telling them what we're doing and when we'll do it. They don't write back to us. And as soon as they told us that they wanted it done right away, which they forgot to tell us until somebody came to speak there that they didn't like. Now, those of you who've been to the Sanctuary for Independent Media will probably be shocked to learn that we don't have a ton of money. If we were building missiles or predator drones or biotech centers or any one of a number of other things, it'd be a lot easier and faster to do what we're doing. But we're trying to provide a platform for just regular people, for labor unions, peace activists, the disabled, women, queers, all kinds of folks who don't typically get a chance to speak out about anything, so there's a place where they can do it and not get hassled. And there's not a lot of money in it. Because if there was a lot of money in it, people would be doing that instead of attacking other countries.
Powers at the top of our society create an atmosphere of lawlessness and abuse of power that we've seen it trickle right down to our own city of Troy.
There's a chilling effect happening at RPI. Dr. Jackson has compounded this now by commissioning a review committee to monitor what is appropriate to bring to campus. Really?
A flag and a medal and a tomb. A general in every living room. And a television telling you to hate everybody but you.
Paul's reputation was immediately transformed from artist to terrorist. By implication, my colleagues, the professors, the artists, and the students in the program, everyone who goes to the sanctuary, are all considered terrorists. We've all been transformed to terrorists.
Honoring that bell.
Muzzling this discussion will bind us in ignorance and fear, not make us safer. Art about terrorism is not an act of terrorism. I just want to thank the Sanctuary for Independent Media for taking the risk to stand up for dissent in art